fundamentals you're going to have to master to be successful. And I want to share them with you. For those of you who are new to real estate or newer to a full-time, these might be new ideas. For those of you who have been in the business a while, hopefully we're going to review some good fundamentals again. So title is the problem and usually probate's the solution. This is the fundamentals in our business. You're looking for people who have problems. What do I mean by that? This is what probate looks like. Grandma and grandpa left me the property. Mom and dad are on title. Grandma and grandpa are on title. I'm not. That sounds like a problem if you're trying to get a listing signed or contract or your investor. My siblings and I are fighting over the property. Mom and dad died, left it to us, and we're fighting over who gets to control it. That sounds like a problem. The property is supposed to be in a trust but never got deeded in the trust. Very common problem. And we started probate but got stuck and we're frustrated with that. These are common problems, and here's the solutions. If grandma and grandpa are on title, you got to help them get into probate. Maybe help lend them the money or advance them the money to get the probate started, get the right attorney who will get the job done and limit their expenses. If siblings are fighting over it, get an attorney that does litigation so the fighting will stop, hopefully. Property is supposed to be in trust. There's a process called the Hegstead petition where you can go to court and file and have the property that was deeded out of the trust for refinance purposes deeded back into the trust. That can be done. And we started probate and got stuck. Help them unstuck the probate. Help them find the right solution. If you're in California, call me. I'd be more glad to help. Chuck Simmons, Hegstead, yes. Hegstead petition. Who has a question right now while we are on the line about any of the fundamentals we talked about so far today? And was this helpful?
Hey, Bill, I've got a question for you.
Sure, Winston.
When you first started 3 years ago, what were a couple of the very first steps you took and what did you learn from it?
Great question. So I went and saw a presentation with a man who had been a mentor of mine from the very beginning, Don Hobbs. He was Hobbs Herder advertising 30 years ago. He was the alternative to Mike Ferry 30 years ago and created an advertising agency and went on to build a coaching company with Gary Keller, Kelly Williams. He's now the president of Success Magazine. I saw him give a presentation in Irvine called The Brand Is You by Don Hobbs. If you go into YouTube and search Don Hobbs, The Brand Is You, the video's there. He talked about how critical it is to have a brand as a real estate agent. Now, the mistake agents make with that is they think the brand is some fancy catchword or some fancy logo. The brand is really about your value proposition. What value do you create in the marketplace that people will think of you when they think of that problem? And then position yourself in that area. Now I'm summarizing an hour-long talk you can watch, but I watched that talk. I met with him for about half an hour, and I did a self-inventory of myself. What assets do I have to bring to my business? I didn't have money to invest. I had time, but I had experience. I knew real estate. My personality fit well with attorneys. I wasn't an attorney, but I was pre-law in college. My father was an attorney. I worked for attorneys, so I had some working knowledge of their business, more than most people. I look like an attorney. I'm older. I've got gray hair. I like putting on suits and ties and going to court. And so I spent a month, literally. I went to court. Well, let me back up. I took alltheleads.com coaching, which was a 3-day program. And at the end of that, he challenged us to go to court and see it in person. So I went to court one day, and I was amazed at what I learned. I went back the next day. I went for the rest of that week. I ended up going for a month. And so for 1 month straight, I went to court in the morning, taking notes, and I would sit the rest of the day and organize the business plan. And I spent the first month literally writing out a detailed business plan of what I was going to do. And it occurred to me that there was 11 different points of contact to attack the business, and that I wanted to try to find ways that were synergistic to attack 2 or 3 angles at the same time. The 11 points that I laid out for you here today. And so I did that. I wrote out a plan for lead generation, and I worked it every day. And by the end of the first year, when COVID hit, they shut the court down. That day, I had 25 pending escrows, all that had to stop because of the court confirmation.